Okay, so this is something you could probably call the lean release, basically taking a page from a book called The Lean Startup, which is a huge part of my methodology when it comes to working with startups. Basically, it helps you sort of grow your project organically versus having to fund some multi-million-dollar thing from the onset and not even having any proof that it will actually work. First, I would pick one song to record and get it to as close to perfect as you can. I wouldn't do a full-on EP or a record yet because you don't really know what the reception is going to be. So, if you're trying to look at this like a business, just start with your minimum viable product. Start with one well-done song. Next, get all of your artwork together. Just do the bare minimum. What you want to do is be able to fill up your social platforms to a point where they look presentable. So something to put as like a profile photo and something for a cover photo. Just get it to looking presentable. Then take that song and send it to 10 people that you're close with who have the same kind of taste that you do. This is your target demographic. If you don't have 10 people, well then start networking, start building relationships so that you can build up to those 10 people. Then after you send them the song, ask them what they think. Maybe even do like a Google Forms questionnaire. That could be useful here. Ask questions like, who does this band sound like? Or how far into the song did you feel the need to change the song? You're basically just trying to figure out, okay, what do they think about this? Is there anything obvious that we need to change to appeal to our audience a little bit more? But the most important thing to be looking out for here is shareability. If some of your 10 people actually share your work with others, that means that you're really onto something. Then next, basically go back to your workshop, take all the feedback, gather it all together, and then decide whether or not you should make adjustments. And any feedback is good feedback, even if it's negative, because you're learning. That's the whole point of this step. After you get that song where you need it to be, start your growth campaign. And your content's going to be really important here. That's where a lot of people kind of skip out. They just kind of post the song and expect people to go gaga over it. But supplemental content is important because people can only jam one song for so long until they get bored. So now is the time to practice showing up several times a week with something interesting to show them. You're going to be doing this for the rest of your career, so it's just better to start now. Then, of course, start dabbling in paid ads. Don't put a shitload of money towards this just because you haven't even really proven your concept yet. You don't know, is this something that's worth really putting a bunch of money into? And really, you don't know what kind of voice your audience is going to identify with. So just kind of dabble with this, maybe do $5 campaign budgets or something like that. Just the point is to just get familiar with the tools, start developing a brand voicing that identifies with your audience without going all in and spending a bunch of money. And then also you should be prioritizing Messenger. You can use tools like ManyChat to basically bypass the Facebook algorithm and connect with your audience directly. I get a read percentage of like 95% on Messenger. Compare that to 1 to 6% reach through the Facebook feed. I mean, Messenger is just way more efficient. The flip side, though, is that you have to treat it with a lot of respect. People are very quick to unsubscribe if you start abusing that interaction. So just be cautious of that. So anyway, so keep that going, give it a little bit of time, keep building up your audience, then release another song. And then pick a few audience members, preferably the ones who are interacting with your content the most frequently, because those people have the highest probability of being really high-quality fans. And then just kind of rinse and repeat the process. Do the information gathering thing, go back to the workshop, decide if you need to make any adjustments, make another release, rinse and repeat. And really, if you just kept doing this over and over, eventually you'll generate a high-quality audience. It might take a little bit of time, but it will happen. And there's obviously a lot more you can do, like looking into Spotify and YouTube playlists. But for me, that's kind of like icing on the cake. If you don't have a reliable way to interact with your core fans and you don't even know what type of brand voicing they identify with, it really doesn't matter how many plays you get on Spotify. You're never actually going to generate a good following that will actually support you and spend money and come out to shows and do all that stuff that you want fans to do.